everyone? Welcome back to Poll on the Call podcast. My name is Mandy Mac,
I'm Cris Rivers.
and I am here not mic'd up because my mic messed up the last recording of this.
It's my third time, but we're here for a good episode to talk about a good topic, and it is about the code of conduct.
Yes.
And po-
Right, yeah, right. We're going to talk about code of conduct for pole studios, events, like pole dancer code of conduct in general.
Online, social
Um,
media.
yeah, right, because um, words have reach, and
We've been hearing crazy stories.
right, that's why we're having this episode, especially like this year. Um, at all of the events that I've been at this year, I've people have come up to me, and unfortunately with some sad news of like sometimes not so nice things being said in by audience members or even by competitors, pole competitors, even by judges, other pole dancers. um, and I know that some studios have like a specific code of conduct on their website, and I think that's really cool. And many people that I've personally talked to about this thought it was should be self-explanatory, but based upon all of the things I've learned this year, it's not always common knowledge about a code of conduct and how the ways that we present ourselves reflect in public.
Yes, it is important to say we are not professionals on this topic. We are just talking about it because of stories we've heard. And like Mandy said, it is common sense. Many people have said it should be common sense. But sometimes in these events or in these spaces, we react as human and common sense goes out the door and our mouth runs before our brain. So maybe just talking about this will help us all be more conscientious and thoughtful when in these certain spaces. Because
Yeah,
I've said and made my mistakes as well.
right. Yeah, I definitely remember myself being included in some of these um, the ways that you can like even like backhanded compliments. I guess we can start with that one. And that's when you are complimenting someone by putting someone else down. And an example of that would be like, let's say you were in the audience of a pole show and your friend goes, everyone else was horrible except for so and so. I shouldn't be laughing. That's really like somebody really said something like that. Um, or they'd be like the other dancer had no business being on stage. Like things like that, like trying to make their friend or family member feel really, really good by putting the other people down. Um,
I've
sometimes,
also on the flip side too, like, oh, they should not have been in that level. They sandbag. They should have been in a higher level or something, just to make other people feel better. It's always interesting, things you hear, even sometimes things you might say or think in your head.
right? Yeah, and like uh, people can hear you everywhere. Like
Yes,
in the bathroom at events. Um,
yes.
you're saying
Uh,
like in the hotel balcony.
yeah, try to refrain from talking about other people in the studio, especially if you're in class with them or in the post space. I remember one PSO and it was my first PSO. It was a beautiful experience. I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I was just standing in line and I hear people people behind me talking about someone practicing on stage. Oh, I heard they were in this level. They shouldn't be in that level. And another time was, why is this person in level 3? They can't even invert cleanly. This is ridiculous. Like things like that. And I'm like, that's fucking harsh. Like, do you know how much guts it takes to fucking even get on that stage anyway? Like, why are you nitpicking?
Right. So surprising when like those comments came from other pole dancers. Like they should know how hard it is to get in
Yeah,
front of everyone on stage. Like, and it's like a vulnerable state. Like if someone hears you, they're like, that can really hurt.
yeah. Like I understand if um we all do things and say things. Like even my first time, I was like, I don't know why I did when I was worked so hard, and those emotions, that adrenaline coming down. We all do it. It's being thoughtful even when we do it with what we say. Make
Right.
you don't hurt anybody else while doing it.
Right. Same. I was definitely when I first started losing, I was a sore loser and I was very loud about it. And then later realized what that felt like on the other end, and it is not cool. Um, we're all in this together.
I found when I went into those like situations wanting to win, I didn't like the person I would become. But when I went in just like wanting to have fun and just perform, it was a very different experience. Like I didn't even care if I came last place. It was very different mind frame.
Yeah. So as a pole dancer, you should be really mindful of the ways that you speak, especially like you could have the best intentions, but maybe you're putting someone else down in your compliment. And then also, I feel like pole dancers are fairly good at this, but maybe like in audience members who are not pole dancers, if you have the chance to educate your friends and family about these things, you can really reduce the other amounts of trauma that can be experienced. For instance, there was an episode of, I guess, a friend was recording their friend who was on stage, and the people behind them were just like talking shit. And like in this video recording, you could hear every single word that they were saying. So it was like really disrespectful, and like, you never know. Um, never
Tough.
know. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, and it's hard to get up on that stage, and Poe is already. We already have people talking shit about us. Why are we doing it amongst ourselves?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it doesn't take too much to like if it is your friend or your family, just be like, "Hey, the way you said that could have been worded a little bit differently." Or like if they're like openly talking shit, just be like, "Don't. Why?"
Oh,
Yeah.
or in like studio places, especially if it's a big studio and there are cliques and like there's a lot of students in the space, and you can like just tell when people are in a corner talking about someone. It's awkward. You don't want, why do you do that? Why are you making comments about someone else's lines or someone else's journey? Like be focused on your journey.
Yes. Right. Like our studio, we have small class sizes. But I can't imagine how hard it must be like in a larger studio setting with all sorts of different personalities. But we all there together to pole dance. So all the other things should fade away. Um,
Yes. And be mindful if you're judging or like
oh yeah.
and comment like if or instructing and commenting on students or competitors or whatever the case is. Like some comments you say you might think are beneficial, but are really hurtful. An example, I think one comment I got on like a judging thing was, I did not get this. Did you really think about this piece before bringing it to us? I was like, what the fuck? uh, it's like, yeah, I really thought about it. I did multiple costume changes and I worked my ass off. Like, yeah, I thought about it. I had a story. Maybe it didn't make sense to you, but it was my story. I could have probably done better explaining,
Yeah,
but
but still, that comment was really harsh and it was not necessary when it came down to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then another one was Are you in the right level? You should be in a lower level, or if not, add harder tricks. That's not what I wanted. I didn't want to do hard tricks or hard transitions. I wanted to tell a story. That's why I did an artistic category. Things like that. Like, be mindful. Some of your comments aren't helpful.
Right? Yeah. Right. Think of how you would feel on the receiving end of it, just because, like, you never know. Like, that's why I always like remind everyone, like, we're always good and bad at the same time. It's just like the delivery and like the response. Like, you could have the best intentions trying to do something, but like maybe you delivered it the wrong way, and um, you shouldn't have done that. Like there is, in particular, like again with the judges or like people who are like role models in the pole world. People can see you, so you probably shouldn't write underneath a competitor's when they post something from a competition that I wish or I think you should have won. Like saying that is not going to help anyone. That's like another backhanded compliment um, that not only like puts down the judge's um, interpretation of who should have won, but like
Say it practice.
right, yeah, like even if you think that, just say it privately. Don't post it where everyone can see, especially like if you're in, a pole role model sort of position. Yeah.
I think another thing is blasting other people online. Holy fuck. The last couple months. And if y'all are online a lot, y'all probably know roughly what I'm talking about. I understand putting people in their place. I understand making things known, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it.
Right? Yeah,
All together.
yeah, we're all human beings and humans make
Make
mistakes. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, it's hard because I feel like we react and then we take it to like social media or to our friends and we react and social media is hard because everybody sees it. Big events are hard because everybody's together. Um, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting. Like, where's the fine line of letting people know what's going on and then disrespecting people while letting people know? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's just like we're all humans. We all make mistakes. And it all comes down to what you said, how we react to um, coming toward like a solution resolution. Yeah.
I know. And as instructors, we should try not to put down other instructors, especially to our students. As coaches, we should not try to do that as well. As pole businesses, we should not do that.
Mhm.
It's okay to say, yes, this is why my method works. This is why my product works, things like that. But don't go right in and out and say, well, this person sucks because this, that.
I'd be like, I would never teach that way. Instead, use my this way. Like, no, there's a million ways to teach things. Everyone's body is different. You should know that.
Oh, too funny. Code of conduct. Just be mindful, be thoughtful. We're supposed to support each other, hopefully grow and learn together. It's okay to not get along with everybody. I'm not saying get along with everybody because that's not going to happen. But there's no need for other people to um hear you talking shit in these like big spaces.
Yeah. Right. I always like try to
Gossip, but this shit is different.
right. I always try to remember just to lead with love. If you
Yeah.
have any question, just remember that and think about what that would mean.
It's okay to gossip with your friends privately, out to dinner with no one around, or at a late night event drinking, but not in these big ass events or these spaces where people surrounding you, like where people can hear you. Like,
Yeah,
in
right? Yeah. So,
a normal, in a normal job, I feel like there are rules about this.
right,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Some studios do have a code of conduct listed on their website, so it is a thing.
yeah,
Um,
like I know when I worked in a hospital, a woman got fired just because she was behind a closed door telling her friend, "Oh, I can't stand that girl. Sometimes I wish I could like beat the crap out of her. She sucks here. I hate working with her." And the girl on the other side of the door, like closed door, heard and reported it.
right, because
Yeah.
violent. Yeah, she threatened. Yeah.
You never know who's listening.
So yeah, just lead with love. And then I also wanted to talk about like in general, pole dancers should always remember to honor the roots of pole dancing and be nice to strippers. And yeah,
Sucks your axe.
I- the
I
code.
f- I'm glad you brought that up. I feel like, and I know why, because for a few years there was a movement. We all know the movement to separate pole fitness and arts from stripping to let the mainstream know that we were serious. I understand that. But now, like, there's still issues, but it is mainstream enough that we should be able to respect the history and where it comes from and the roots. And then people out there making the money doing the work that 9 to 5 people don't want to, creating fantasies for others.
Right? Right. And I think it's also really cool too. I think lots of studios make a point to have like outings where they visit the strip clubs and, make it rain on the strippers because you should give back.
Yeah. I love how there's like a new growth in like stripping competitions or like even competitions or mainstream competitions are allowing more sexiness and stuff. It shows that we finally come to a place where we can finally start respecting the roots.
Yes. Right. Yeah, there's so many ways that you can incorporate that as your pole dancer philosophy and your own code of conduct. Yeah. And hopefully, if this information was useful to you, please pass it on, because then it will be more well known, and then people won't have to be unnecessarily unnecessarily hurt or traumatized by maybe you not meaning to do that, but you did. I said that in such a weird way.
I've heard so many stories and it's sad. So many people, so many, I don't, not minorities. How many, like, what's the correct word? So many groups of people dealing with different issues related to this, like discrimination not being allowed into events or because of the way they perform. People talk about them behind the scenes and stuff, and it's just sad.
Yeah. Right. The only way we grow is if we learn from others. And yeah.
Especially in pole dancing, like we're supposed to be like a crazy art form.
Right? Yeah. Like we're so vulnerable at like we're wearing like bathing suits and then here we're gonna like hate on each other. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And if I ever said anything to offend you and you're listening to this, I apologize. I was probably reactive and I was not being thoughtful. I am older now and I am trying to be more thoughtful.
It's same. I think about that all the time and I do think that people can change and um,
Yes.
right? I think about that too, like the past lives that we've all lived that maybe turned people away. Um, we can change. You just have to open your eyes to the bullshit that you're spraying all over the place.
I will say I think this podcast kind of helped with um how I act or portray myself in certain instances and events because I mean people listen to us and people see us. I can't be acting like Boo Boo the Fool like when I was 21. I mean, I'm still a hot mess. Like I'll smoke a joint in front of you and not give a fuck. uh, um, I can't be like wanting to fight, taking things personal and offensive when I shouldn't be. I really have started thinking about how I react and speak to people and how people are speaking to me because it's sometimes people come off a certain way and they don't mean that way.
Yeah. Right, I agree. This podcast has also helped me too because you really can reflect on yourself because you're looking at yourself. Well, the podcast part, no, you listen, but um, yeah, it's just like you said, just being more mindful of how you project yourself and the ways that people, because everyone's looking at you. If it's public, everyone can see you.
Facts. But that's what I think about is mind jar. Like sometimes we get like 50, 100 views a day just from the podcast or YouTube. And I'm like, I do the math and I'm like, that's a lot of fucking faces and ears.
Right? I'm always worried about something that I've said on one of our podcasts that might be some dumb thing that I've said.
Intend to like hurt anybody. Yeah, I'd be thinking about it too. Or like when I'm at these events, like Chris, don't come out like crazy.
Right? Yeah. But again, we're all, human beings and yeah.
What's this? We have a saying where I'm from. You can take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl.
Yes.
That's
Right. It is try to lead with love again. That's my motto. It's on my to-do list. I look at it every day. Hopefully I remember it. Sometimes
um,
it's hard to lead with love, but
yes. It is. So take a break if you find it hard. Take a break. Take a break from social media. Take a break from just people. Just center yourself, ground yourself. Sometimes just too many people, too much posts, too much social media is just too stimulating and it gets our emotions riled up.
mm, right. And I think it's important to say also too, you brought this up, to not take things so personally. So like if you are experiencing someone has backhandedly complimented in your vicinity and it made you feel some sort of way, try not to let it make you feel that way. I know it's really hard, but they likely didn't mean it. Um, why do backhanded compliments exist? Who made them?
Really. Stop.
Let's not put others down. Like, let's
Politics,
not do that.
like they helped us save money, but we ended recession. Let me say, I don't know something.
Right?
It's what we've been exposed to. I don't.
Right? It's the marketing. But yeah, so don't, yeah. Oh, and
Uh,
then wait, there was another thing. Oh, there was a question as to like, um, who how do we report these things when they happen? Um, and so like that is at everyone's discretion, of course. I think that if it's your friends and family, you should feel comfortable enough to like check them.
uh,
Um,
report it to your studio manager, your studio owner or instructor if you see it happening, or if they're the issue. I mean, I mean, I say take it to social media, but sometimes maybe it's time for a new studio. Yeah, if it's a competition and you see this, they're probably aware and they're trying to work on it, but it's really the people in it, like the owners and creators of these competitions can't control what's happening inside. It's our job. to control ourselves.
Right? That's so true. It's the easiest way is to just control yourself. But
Yeah.
yeah, but if, if these things are happening, like, and you can alert someone about them, just make sure you find someone who you feel comfortable alerting to because it might be a touchy subject too. Like maybe it's a repeat offender.
Yes. Or maybe they're just being completely disrespectful and making someone cry behind them and not even realizing it. Like go to the judge wrangler or like if it's on social media, like I don't know, example, Pole Circus or Exotic Generation online and people are being disrespectful. See if you can reach out to them and be like, hey, how can we make this better so this online bullying just doesn't happen or whatever.
Yeah. Right, because in the end, we all want to make things better. We don't want to make things worse. And again, we might not be aware of the things that are going on. So,
And
so
then if they're not trying to make it better, if they're not trying to actively grow, then you blow their spot up with respect.
yeah, yeah, right. Give them a human chance, and then
Yeah.
a slight other human chance, and then blow them up. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just I'm waiting for that episode where someone comes up and starts blowing up other people's spots, and I'm just like, holy shit.
No, no. Well, we do have a platform for pole dancers.
Yes. To talk about anything, you don't have to give names, studio names, event names. You can just talk about your experience and how we can learn or grow or what would have made it better so we can learn and grow together because that's why we do this.
Yes, and we are uh, two people from a small place in Massachusetts. So there's lots of things that we don't see and hear and experience. So, while we might thought of the code of conduct was a really important topic to talk about, maybe you're like, maybe there's another topic you wanted to talk about. Please let us know, because this pole dance podcast is for you.
Yes. We have a couple good topics coming up, like a couple crazy ones, a couple good ones. I mean, I feel like they're all always good. If you don't like it, that's okay. Catch you on the next one.
Yeah. Right? We have pretty much a new episode every week, so there's so many to choose from. Most of them are brilliant interviews, um,
Yes.
amazing pole stars and pole stars up and coming.
Yes, where you can learn from everyone, post studio owners, post business owners, everyone we have learned so much from. Like, check it out.
Yes, I think too, let's put a call out for some new uh, interviewees from new pole dancers. I think we have a lack of perspectives from brand new pole dancers.
Yeah, that would be fun. New pole dancers from the West Coast, pole dancers from overseas. We're starting to stay up late if we need to. So let's
We
go.
are. Late night interviews for you guys because we love you. We want to share everyone's story. So we'll stay up late.
And we know time frames are different, and we still want to share your story. And we're going on 4 years.
I know I thought about that. We celebrated our 100th episode with our beautiful showcase. Thank you to everyone who participated in that. And we're about to enter our fourth year.
Yes.
We will have even more surprises.
We will. I can't wait. More to come. We gotta have a meeting about that.
Yes, right? Maybe we'll be some sort of business structure coming soon.
Business structure. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to talk about that. I don't even know what that means.
Right, I think we've learned enough from all the wonderful pole dancers we've talked uh, to make some good decisions for our podcast that'll be good for everyone.
Yes. And we'll stop talking your ear off because we just want to go on tangents. We had to put a stop to ourselves if we continue on.
Yes. So once again, thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of Pole in the Call podcast and for helping to change the world not only through your study of pole dance, which as we know changes us inside and out, but also like spreading that love not only just through pole dance, but like how you present yourself as a pole role model in the real world to others.
Save the gossip for private, not out in public.
Gossip is still good, but not in public spaces.
I'm not gonna go into a tangent. I was gonna say I feel like some of them out there thrive on that, like they love that, but I don't care. You know.
I think we all go through a phase of that. And if you're in that phase, it's time to leave.
Encourage people, inspire people. Don't be dicks to them.
Lead with love.
We're dicks about them.
And on that note, my name is Mandy Mac.
I am Cris Rivers.
The sharp attack from Mandy Mac.
Work as always.